is enlightenment. How do we use spirit guides? What is spiritual Wi-Fi? How do we continue to expand to higher states of consciousness? Psychic realities. Transform your mindset. Apply the energy of awakening. Create your reality. Master your energy. Become the new you. Backed by pure, unadulterated consciousness. Experience the journey with the magnificent metaphysician and psychic medium, Dr. D. Oracle. You are now tuned in to the quantum field, and welcome.
So this is Dr. D. Oracle back at you again with some knowledge. And today I'm going to be talking about spiritualism. So if you haven't got a chance to check me out and look at my videos, I am a medium and a psychic reader. And so I usually I read people. And how I do that is I connect with my own spirit guide. So I guess you could say I'm somewhat of a spiritualist. But the reason why I'm bringing up this topic today is because people are becoming more spiritually aware, more spiritually awakened. And with that, we just have a lot of people that's delving into the spiritual realm, okay? So today I'm going to talk about what that's like, and I'm going to talk about the 3 different kinds of spirits, and I'm going to talk about how to protect yourself and what you should look out for, okay? So I'm just going to start off by saying that there's 3 different types of spirits, 3 different types of spirits. And the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes people talk about it like, ooh, this is spooky. Like, we shouldn't be talking to spirits, like, that's not cool. But really, to me, the experience of being able to communicate with the spirit actually confirms that I myself have a spirit, and it's a part of mysticism. So when you're talking about mysticism, you're basically talking about the state of awareness where you can connect with invisible realms or other realms that you can't necessarily see or sense through the 5 senses. So how do we sense that? Well, it's something I like to call spiritual Wi-Fi. And what spiritual Wi-Fi is that when you're in connection with your own spirit, then you're really able to use that connection to connect with all the other spirits. So when you're talking about the 3 kinds of spirits, the first kind that you'll connect with is human spirits, because we connect with human spirits every day, pretty much. But these are not discarnate spirits. These are spirits that are in bodies, and they're still living on the planet. They're still here. They're still in this experience with us. This experience right here that we're living, the physical experience or the material experience. But then you also have human spirits that are discarnate. And what discarnate means is that they once had a body. Now they don't have a body anymore. They moved on. So we would consider these types of spirits like ancestors. And there are some spirit guides, okay? And then there are other spirits that, I don't know, people generally probably encounter. They're human spirits, but they've conquered matter. So that would be something like spirits who are of, they would be spirits like ascended masters. Okay, so we have human spirit. We're talking to human spirits every day. It's just that most of the spirits that we talk to have a body. I talk to spirits who don't have a body. So I understand that you don't need a body for consciousness to exist. But at the same time, the experience of having a body is basically, how we learn a few things that we probably are unable to learn in the spirit realm. We're able to have this experience also with other people to expand our consciousness. And so the other types of spirits that we have are nature spirits. Nature spirits. And nature spirits are um, they are the spirits that accompany the environment that we live in. So a tree would technically have a spirit. An herb would have a spirit. A root would have a spirit. And there are different types of spirits in nature. Even animals have a spirit. And so if you listen to my podcast over on Spreaker.com, I talk about the animal spirit guides that we have and how those two consciousness are combined. Sometimes we can use that combination for ourselves to expand our own consciousness as we connect to nature. And some people are in touch with the roots and the earth and the flowers and the trees and all these different types of spirits. The water, even the water has a specific type of spirit. It's a cleansing spirit. The water is also, it can be a very violent spirit. And so we have our nature spirits that are among us in the environment, and some of them we connect to. I know some people know about fairies and that type of thing. Those are nature spirits, okay? And we connect with the nature spirits when we technically want to embody something in nature or use that to expand our consciousness, okay? So those are the two most common spirits that we tend to not realize are actually spirits. So when we're talking about being a spiritualist, and we're talking about mysticism, we're still talking about connecting with spirit on those levels through our own spirit or spiritual Wi-Fi, what I like to call spiritual Wi-Fi. It's like the internet, but it's spiritual. So once you plug in your box, you can connect to all the other boxes in the universe, okay? And then there are other spirits, okay? There are spirits that are light beings, okay? And spirits that are basically part of a place or a time, okay? So say for instance, like maybe someone's house, like if you visit someone's house, you can feel a certain type of spirit in their house. And we give these places their spirits because we give them a part of us. We give them a part of our energy. Even when you go to work, like a corporation, that's a type of entity or a spirit as well. Because people go there every day and they're constantly feeding that place their energy. It builds on that energy, and so it has a specific type of spirit. So those are the three different types of spirits that we have. There are also other types of spirit, like spirits that guard certain realms, and then there are spirits that they inhabit basically spaces that we don't inhabit right now. Okay, different planes of existence. Okay. For instance, a planetary spirit, okay? And we connect with those spirits because we mirror the universe. But when we look into astrology, we understand that these specific planets, they give us some of our personality and whatnot, because they also have a spirit as well. And so, all through the universe, every single thing is rooted in spirit. The root of everything is energy, and pure energy is consciousness, or what we call spirit. Because, like I said, when I'm connecting with someone who's a discarnate, they're not in a body, but they still maintain their consciousness. Okay. And so some of the things, the precautions that I want to talk about real quick when we're dealing with spirit is, we need to be clean and we need to be protected. I'm hearing about a lot of people just looking things up online, and getting information, and then they want to delve into it, but they don't really have, um, you know, the information that they need to be able to protect themselves and to be really clean and clean themselves. So cleansing is actually a part of protections. And when we're dealing with spirit, even when I give a reading and I'm dealing with a spirit in a body, okay, I have to cleanse myself and I have to cleanse my space first. So that way I'm making sure that I don't attract anything to me that is unclean in the spirit realm, okay? So, cleansing, if you're going to be dealing in a spiritual realm and you don't have a teacher or someone who's trained you on what to do, I suggest you begin by getting some sea salt, and you can cleanse yourself with sea salt, or you can get some sage or Palo Santo and clean yourself with some sage or Palo Santo before you interact, or before you set the intention to interact with spirit. Okay. um and our spirit guides are generally already with us. So I'm talking about spirits that you've never dealt with before, like a saint spirit or something like that. Or maybe you're, doing some kind of magic work or something, but you still need to cleanse yourself as a part of protection so you don't attract anything unclean to yourself. Um, and then also just safety, just safety. Um, you want to make sure that you're testing spirits, or if you're calling on different spirits, to help you, you're understanding what the nature or the character of that spirit is that you're calling on or that you're dealing with. And then you understand, just being precognizant that when you go different places or you experiment, with different things, that you're also inviting certain spirits into you, or you're taking yourself into an area of, a spiritual nature, and you want to notice those subtle differences. Okay. That's being spiritually aware. That's being on your spiritual Wi-Fi. So I just wanted to give a short video about that. Get your sea salt, cleanse yourself. If you're going to different places that are unclean, and it carries a certain energy, you want to use that to take a bath and cleanse yourself when you get home. And also, look up protections. Look up protections. Take your time. There's no reason to rush into anything. Take your time and really try to learn everything that you can learn. Really, I tell people you want to get in touch with the spirit guides first, because the spirit guides are like a gateway to spiritualism or dealing with the spirit realm. But before you do that, you always want to master your own energy. Some people can't even make themselves get up and cook something to eat, or get up and make their bed, or go take care of simple things, and they're wanting to delve into spiritualism. No, you should be mastering yourself first. And what I mean by mastering yourself first is you're going to actually be able to summon your own energy to get these simple things done, or even more complicated things done. So mastering your own energy means that you're able to really transmute any negative energy that you have into something that you want it to be. Okay? And that's, you know, that's the basic thing, because once you master your own energy, you will have the spiritual Wi-Fi to connect with any spirit that you want to ask for help in your work, in your life. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to master our own energy to where we have the ability to be in connection with our spiritual self and use those energies um, for the things that we need to use them for. We always master ourselves first before we start to deal with other energies, and that includes people. So, spiritualism or being a spiritualist is nothing to be afraid of. Um, in fact, a lot of the ancestors they taught that, but it's not for everybody either. So we have to understand that, because with the spiritual energies coming in and connecting with different consciousness, we have to be aware. We have to have really good discernment to understand which consciousness is actually ours versus someone else's. Okay, when we're hearing these things or we're seeing these things, um, you having these abilities, like these claircognizant abilities, it can be really confusing for some people if they haven't mastered their own energies. So with that being said, I'm just going to end this video. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Um, and I hope that you just use your better judgment and your better reasoning skills. I'm not trying to scare anyone, because it's honestly something that we should not be afraid of, okay? And it can really help us at some point. But at the same time, we also want to approach it with balance, caution, and safety. And so that's all I have for you today. But I hope that you take this very seriously and you really think on it before you start to make a transition into dealing with these other energies. We still deal with people, and that's okay, because we have an advantage when we can actually, be next to them and really understand them with the five senses. But when you're dealing with spirit, that goes into your sixth sense perception. And for everybody, um, that's not actually something that they're able to really take in and handle. So, um, love and light to everyone, sending you loads of positivity for today. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you like it, click like, click subscribe. And that way you will hear about any future videos that I have coming out. Um, and you'll be able to get this knowledge. I am a knowledge keeper. I spent a lot of my existence not in a human body, but outside of a human body, just observing the earth, and I studied the human body on another constellation. Um, so in this life, I'm just basically bringing these things to people so you can understand more about yourselves, have more self knowledge about who you are and where you're going. And I'm so glad you tuned in. Peace and blessings, love and light.